Hi, Scorpio Sun and Rising. Welcome to your November 2024 Astro Update. It's Serena here. November is a jam-packed month, very important month. Even though we are past eclipse season, the fallout, the influences can still carry through this month. And I'm recording this in early October, and boy, oh boy, yes, I think 2024 is going out with a bang. Of course, this is your solar return season, beginning in late October, so that's why I started with your sign. On the very first day of the month, there is a new moon in your sign at 9 degrees of Scorpio. So this is kind of signaling that November is the winds of change are coming, and you can harness this by deciding what kind of manifestations you would like to bring into your life in the next 12 months. On the 2nd, Mercury goes into Sagittarius, and I have to say that Sagittarius is the truth seeker and stater. And if you live in the United States, this is right before the U.S. election, so there could be a lot of truth that is trying to get out in general. But this is your chart, and this is the 2nd house of earned income. So as we advance this month and into next, you're going to have these hits to your 2nd house or transits here. And so your finances become a central theme. Mercury here could have you thinking about your finances, crunching the numbers. And we're going to have a Mercury retrograde in this area later this month. On the 3rd, Mars goes into Leo. So here's more fire energy, the Sagittarius and now Leo. And Mars as a planet is very fiery itself. It rules Aries, but it also co-rules your sign, Scorpio. So it is one of your rulers. And in Leo, we're talking about your 10th house of career. So this is a time that you may feel, and this is going to be, by the way, the area where it retrogrades in December. And it's going to be in your 9th and 10th houses for many months until well into 2025. So I think for Scorpio people, the question becomes, or the challenge is, how do you advance your career while also considering the ethical issues? Or if you are somebody who wants to travel and at the same time you need to make a living, you may be doing both or trying to do both, because the 9th house can be long distance travel. So there could be some theme with that as well. But I should add that this is a general forecast, because for some of you, this may be happening a lot in the 9th house, who knows? And maybe not even, I'm talking about the retrograde, and maybe it doesn't even go into the 10th house. So you're going to have to check your chart or get a reading with me, a transit reading. But anyway, when it goes into your 10th house, Mars, you're going to be very ambitious, but you're also prone to stepping on the toes of people in positions of authority. The 10th house can be authority figures. Now, if you have clashed with your father, that could be the 10th house. And maybe there's, something going on with him or anything. Let's see, what else? I would say, yeah, with career, you may simply be very, very ambitious and have a lot of energy to back it up with. So you could get a lot done in a short period of time. But you're not going to have a short period of time. You're going to have a long period of time where Mars is hanging out in this house. On 11/11, Venus goes into Capricorn, and that is your third house. And that is the house of Gemini in astrology. And its ruler Mercury, so it deals with communication. And so, social media, regular media, teaching, learning. You could meet someone online, like a romantic interest. Maybe you decide to join a dating service. You could get money for your blog or other types of social media posts in some way. On the 15th, we have a very important day. First of all, the full moon is at 24 degrees of Taurus in your opposite sign, opposite house, 7th house of committed partnership. That can bring relationships to the forefront, could bring up secrets, things you didn't know that are going on with your partner, if you have one. And if you're somebody who's dating, you're in a relationship, like a monogamous relationship, this could be the time when you say, okay, let's do this. Let's get married or let's live together. I think with Scorpio, it'd probably be more like, let's get married. And so you take it to the next level, but some people might decide to call it quits, especially since Uranus is engaged here. I don't have my ephemeris, but I'm assuming that Uranus is around that 24 degrees of Taurus. And so it might even be something that's kind of like bam, like if it's been kind of hanging in the balance, it's just like, pff, okay, now it's finally over with. On the same day, Saturn goes direct at 12 degrees of Pisces. This is your 5th house of committed of love and creativity. Things that make you go, Makes you wonder if some Scorpio person happens to have met someone that they couldn't be with. Maybe, during Saturn retrograde that you couldn't really get serious with because you're still married. Maybe the 7th house can be legal matters. So maybe you get that divorce decree and you go right into that new relationship. Love interest. If you've had any kind of creative blockage, this could be the time where things start to flow, especially with the Venus in the 3rd house. It's good for writer's block. Now things could be flowing. Venus is very harmonious in that 3rd house of writing. Well, that's one of the areas of communication. And now you have Saturn going direct in the 5th, and that's house of creativity. So it could be something like that. When Saturn is transiting your 5th house, you're very serious about love. You're not playing. So this can be a time when you're really limiting your dating, or it feels like it's kind of few and far between you, the dates that you have, but it's quality versus quantity. On the 19th, Pluto goes back into Aquarius for 20 years. Wow, just wow. This is in your 4th house of home and family, Scorpio. I was going to say oof, but it's all good because this gives you a chance to really heal excavate and heal childhood issues. Not everybody has Pluto in their fourth house in their lifetime, and this is one of those water houses that can really wreak havoc on people's lives because it's the past. And because your sign is ruled by Pluto and Mars, but Pluto, you have the ability to kind of look these dire situations in the eye and not flinch from it. So it can empower you ultimately. And this can also be your relationship with your mother, no matter what type of relationship, even if it's like an absolutely horrendous, seemingly impossible relationship. The bottom line is you may find that you can't necessarily, in some cases, it's not that you're going to live happily ever after with this person, but you will find a way to make peace with it and still feel empowered, you know. And for some people, maybe you are able to hold your own in that relationship and salvage it for sure. But just like not allowing past trauma to kind of dominate you, I think that's a big one, a theme, you know, for the next 20 years. On the 21st, the sun goes into Sagittarius, into that second house of earned income. So again, you know, with Mercury here, your attention is on this particular area, but just 4 days later, Mercury goes retrograde at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. So you're going to have to somehow, there's something you have to rethink. If there's a check that gets lost in the mail, you know, I'm thinking of what is the mail. The third house is probably the mail because it's anything to do with paperwork and things like that. So Venus is there, so there could be a check because Venus can be money. So, you know, just realize that Mercury retrograde is a very swift-moving thing. I think Mercury goes direct on December 15th. I don't know for sure. I have to check. But it's just a few weeks. It's like 3.5 weeks. So just be careful with any kind of checks, anything second house related. You know, if you are writing a check to somebody or, you know, transferring money, make sure that you know exactly how much you're transferring, because you don't want to get like a nasty little surprise that you put an extra zero or something like that. So just expect that there might be some snafus with your finances very briefly, like, you know, even like online banking and stuff like that. But you never, well, I don't like to say expect it because then maybe you create it. I have found that these things can happen totally, you know, apart from Mercury retrogrades. And sometimes they have Mercury retrogrades that are pretty chill. So hopefully you won't have to deal with it, but if you do, just realize that it's temporary. Okay, Scorpio, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I'm promoting my package deal, my double reading called My Deep Dive, perfect for Scorpios. Especially since I found out I'm a Scorpio in Vedic astrology and a Mercury in Scorpio too. Western astrology is Sagittarius in the 8th house. So that's pretty scorpionic. Moon in conjunction with Pluto. So you can, this reading is an hour of natal chart analysis and an hour of transits for the upcoming, well, I was going to say the upcoming 12 months, but it actually goes all the way from the time of the order of the reading until the end of 2025. And especially when you're going through your solar return, or when the sun is crossing over into your first house. This can be a time when you're really looking to the next 12 months and the cycle that is up and coming. So it's a perfect time to get a reading, and when you order them together, you get quite a savings. So you can find out more about that deal as well as my other types of readings, career, love, etc., at the link below. Thank you for listening. Bye.